The Cumberland Legal Aid Clinic has a twofold mission. The first is to provide free legal aid to Mainers with low incomes. We help more than 600 people every year. The second is to provide law students with an intensive experiential learning and mentoring opportunity.
We're trying to teach law students how to be lawyers.
It's kind of the ideal way to be a lawyer with training wheels.
You're no longer reading about what someone else did and poking holes in their argument or pointing out their mistakes. You're the one who's creating the body of work that hopefully no one will look back on and point out the mistakes that you made.
So it's applying a lot of these concepts that they're learning in the classroom, which are critically important, but then applying those to real-world examples.
It's really something that at least every law student should try.
The way that our students are able to do everything that an attorney can do while they're still law students is because Maine has enacted student practice rules in the rules of civil and criminal procedure. And that means that our courts permit our students to practice law as an attorney while they're still law students. But in every sense of the word, the student is the attorney on the case. Our general practice clinic is exactly as it sounds. It's really been the core of the clinic since it was founded in 1970, and students provide full representation to clients with a range of matters: criminal, family, and consumer.
It's as close to, I say, as close to working in a real law firm. It is a real law firm. Any legal problem that somebody who qualifies for clinic help, we can help them with that.
We have a juvenile justice clinic which provides students an opportunity to work with children in the juvenile justice system as juvenile defenders, and the students also work on a range of policy development projects which have a very broad impact.
I find the student attorneys really are flexible. They are incredibly responsive. You know, an established attorney, often we've had some great contact with established attorneys, but they often are a lot busier and they have a hard time getting back to us in a timely manner, and we haven't had that experience with the student attorneys.
As a kid, I was getting into some trouble and I didn't really know what to do. The court was like, oh, well, the Cumberland Legal Aid Clinic is here to help you. It's really beneficial to me personally because it was free. And a lot of people end up in jail because they couldn't afford a good lawyer, and that's not fair.
We also have a protection from abuse project based in Lewiston District Court, where our students go every week to assist people who are seeking civil protection from abuse orders on the basis of domestic violence, sexual assault, or stalking.
Your first PFA trial is probably your most intense moment in law school.
It's baptism by fire to some extent.
We meet our clients for the first time that day. We meet the opposing party or opposing counsel for the first time that day. We try to negotiate, and if that doesn't work, we go to trial that day.
It's a real joy to see them go from that point of being absolutely terrified to thinking, oh, I can do this, to thinking, oh, maybe this is what I want to do ultimately because this is just fabulous.
The Prisoner Assistance Clinic does any civil case an inmate has.
So child support, bankruptcy, foreclosure, debt collection, because as everyone knows, when you go to prison, your life does not pause. Things still happen, and so a lot of times it requires legal assistance.
The effect of that is really pretty remarkable to the DOC. We probably save them several social workers just by being there. But more important is the effect on the inmates who cannot get legal services. They usually don't have money. Federal law prohibits any federal money being spent to provide legal services for inmates. The students learn that people in prison, for the most part, are just like the rest of us. They just happen to be in prison and they need some help. As far as I know, nobody else in the country has a program like that.
And then finally, we have the Refugee and Human Rights Clinic, which provides students an opportunity to represent new Mainers who are seeking status under federal immigration law.
Participating in the Refugee and Human Rights Clinic allowed me to see how the asylum process works from start to finish, and played a really significant role for me in deciding what I wanted to do with my legal career. The same sorts of skills that I learned in the clinic have carried over into my current career. And apart from that, I'm also able to use the specific skills that I learned with regard to immigration law on a pro bono basis outside of my private practice.
The faculty supervisors in the clinic are a super integral part of the learning experience, and they're great.
Most of them ended up becoming my biggest mentors throughout law school.
Words cannot express how much I love them.
You get to experience different styles and different approaches to advocacy, and they give you feedback and they give you a chance to try maybe a different way of doing things. So it's a very supportive and collegial atmosphere.
I think every student should have to go through it before going out and practicing, because it is such a fundamental skill set to have, learning how to talk to a client.
These are real people with real problems, and the decisions that we make have very real impact.
It's always interesting to see the skill set students come in with and how they develop. They do as good a work as anyone I ever see in court.